And welcome back to Pipe Sports, the Alabama football megacast. The Crimson Tide blew the doors off of ULM last night. They showed up as a completely different team. We are here to look at the presser, but just a historic win. I don't know where any of that was last week. Just glad to see it this week. So maybe my prognostication of the Crimson Tide being 10-2 and moving on to the college football playoffs is still a probability. But it was ULM. So I just woke up this morning, the birds was birding, the dew is doing, the sun is sunning. It's like one of those picturesque days where
what are you talking about?
Beautiful Sunday morning, and like yesterday, even though the sun was out, it felt like it was still like just raining all over me, and then eventually it did rain. So you gotta be careful what you wish for. Anyway, let's listen to Coach Deboer break this thing down, and I will chime in as needed. But good job to the Crimson Tide as they won 73-0. A feat that has not been accomplished. I think to 73, they won 77-6 over Virginia Tech. That was way before the Mike Vick era. And I think, I don't know, 1951, they beat somebody 73 to 89-0. Delta State, September 21. 1951. Interesting.
Yeah, you bet. Just thought the guys did a good job, just moving with some purpose and everything that they did. Got to the stadium and just the movement. I think it represented what they did this week, and it's one game, and got to continue to sustain the intensity and
got that right. What about the injuries? Any injuries?
I thought the guys did a good job playing from snap to whistle and doing it over and over again for 60 minutes. So, that was the challenge to the guys, and that's what we got to build on. So, I like that they really didn't feel like they looked at the scoreboard ever and just focused on being their best and bringing it. And also really like that they're happy for each other. They celebrated each other's successes, and I think that's what this team has. Just that chemistry coming out, and I'm appreciating the work that each guy puts in.
You can tell, like in his speech, you had a couple of ums in there. I'm an guy. They said that it's a sign of intelligence. Anyway, because we're trying to present out, but he wasn't stumbling. It wasn't none of he wasn't doing all that. The confidence is up. The hood on the hoodie is standing a little bit. It's a little stiffer. It's not just flopping around back there. So I'm glad this man probably can get a decent night's rest, maybe last night or tonight, maybe.
Thanks, Coach. Start on the left side here with Nick.
Yeah, Ty completed 17 consecutive passes. What stands out about what he was able to do there, and then also the decision to bring in Austin for that drive? Mm-hmm. What went into that?
Yeah, that's just Ty doing what he did. I just thought that the game was slower for him. He was just able to go through progressions. That first week to second week. That's what you needed to see. That's what you really needed to see out of Ty. And I'm proud of how he went to work. And there's some times when he scrambled this week where it just felt like he had it under control. Saw the field, knew where guys were at, understood the situation, and then made the throw. And, to get completions like that and 17 for 17, the guys got to make the catch too. They got to make those plays.
Jeremy Bernard!
Just focused on making the fundamental play, and then I thought a lot of guys, then made explosives after the catch, but they didn't get ahead of themselves. They just, again, the game was slower for a lot of them. As far as the series early on with Austin getting in, it's just something we wanted to do. It wouldn't have mattered, really who, this week, next week, who we were playing. We just really got with the quarterbacks, and on Monday we shared with them, we want to get Austin in for a series. We want to be really intentional. There's a lot of competition going on at all spots, and I love what that brought out in all of those guys. I think it brought out another level of just, work. They stayed the course, and started with those guys. But, we just let them know. And I thought Austin had a good week of practice. Ty had a great week of practice, especially as the week went on. And then it was good to see Kalen get out there too.
First time in the history of the University of Alabama, 3 quarterbacks entered the game and threw more than one touchdown, or 2 touchdowns at least. Absolutely amazing. I loved the one time where Ty took the ball and ran one in, but I saw him do that earlier. Be careful. It was a Jalen Milroe special, so I guess it must be a Deboer'S special. That basically it's there's a quarterback sweep or something, but I don't know about that. I'm just like I don't know. But I told you Ty had skates, but I am not sure about that play going forward against some more tougher competition. I don't know if we have to do that with. I mean, you saw AK Deer, man. You saw AK Deer. It was the end of the game, man. But did you see him lead that dude standing? That dude, you got so many running backs, man. Is it necessary? Even if it came out, I don't know, they just spin it around, and Ty went to an H-back position, and the running back went under center or went to his take the snap from shotgun, and you ran the same play. I do not think it is wise to run that man around the corner like that.
Hey, Kalen, did you see,
Kalen, just want to punch that
increased
guy
fire
right
or like
in
an
the
increased
kneecap.
vigor from your defense after kind of in response to kind of the criticisms that they got last week?
Mm-hmm. I just think they did a better job of every guy pursuing to the ball. And so, that the week of practice was a good week, and, it showed and it carried over, and, got off to a faster start than what we did last week, and that
you didn't start.
That was what we needed to have, and so
don't talk about last
and
week.
especially as the game went on today, having those takeaways, because that's a contagious thing. Doesn't matter who you're playing; it's just contagious, and they're just hunting the ball, and coming in and punching it loose or putting your helmet on, on the ball carrier. With another level of violence, and that was certainly something I saw in practice. So, happy to see that to carry over.
Well, the thing is, we have to remember this is ULM. As I said many times before, as a proud alumnus, I don't know, of Tuskegee University as a HBCU, signing certain schools up for certain games is kind of okay. There are probably 20 people on that team who could play at the University of Alabama, maybe another 10 that could possibly get a call to come to an NFL camp, every year, consistently. That's how it is at ULM. But they got the same 125 players. I guarantee you they got 30 of them was like, man, I got this project due Wednesday. I got homework. I'm not trying to be out here. I'm serious. When you get at a school like that, once certain people get down they're making business decisions, man. Folks out there trying to go to law school, people trying to be nurses and doctors. Ain't nobody trying to be fooling around with Caden Proctor. And you talking about being a 5th grade teacher? After your idol, your mentor who played football at the high school you went to and became a teacher, that you want to do the same thing. Yeah, Kalen Proctor, my back hurt. And I still got to go to class. I got to go to class. Cannot walk into class for the next week with a concussion and a bad back. Good job, but let's just remember, this is ULM. Let's not get crazy. But congrats to Coach Deboer. He probably could finally finish his Gatorade this week because he probably slung that some gun at. He probably drank some Gatorade, got some water, probably had some soda crackers or something in between the quarters, or maybe he could focus. He could kind of not relax. But I know it seemed like he didn't recognize, like, how did this? What? This ain't what we talked about. He made a faux pas, or he got gushed, whatever it was. He got gust bust. you know. But if you do the right things, we can see them again. We can see FSU again. But we got a long way to go. So let's just keep in mind this was ULM.
What did Kevin Riley show in practice this week to earn that starting spot? And then what did you see from him tonight in the running game and the pass game?
Yeah, I mean, I think from the running back position, it's a group effort, and we just like that play with Kevin. And so that's how he got in there right away. But we obviously, I think he had quite on the stats in front of me. I think he had quite a few, maybe some of them, maybe most carries on the team. I'm not sure on that, but just he's done a good job the last probably 4 weeks, middle of camp. He really kind of turned it up. And there's some things that he can do that are a little different than the rest of the group there. And so like where he picks up his knees and runs hard, inside, outside, and got a little burst, does a nice job catching the ball in the backfield. And I think he's really picked up the understanding and responsibility when it comes to pass protection too.
Go to Charlie, front right.
Yeah, because you had a couple freshmen in the starting lineup with London on the defense and Latsier on offense. Just what did you see in the lead up to this game from them, and what did you see today?
Yeah, London got some action last week, and then just forced into more action, with Jeremiah and just kind of the rotation there.
London
he and TK out.
Write that down.
I think offensively with Latsier,
I told y'all about Latsier Brooks. I've been saying it, and I know it's ULM, but that man got on there with grown men because he's 18 years old, I think. I'm telling you. I don't, boy, somebody gonna get old boy out of protocol. We get Ryan Williams to focus on being, competing and for playing time. And Jeremy Bernard is just berserk. But I'm gonna just stick with the young one right now. Latsier Brooks, you're not gonna be able to keep that man off the field. Y'all saw it. Y'all was like, who's that 17 out there? You saw a little flash. Then you saw another little flash. You're like, wait a minute. Yeah, will he do it against Georgia? I think so. I've always thought so. I didn't see how they was going to keep this man from playing in that deep wide receiver room. Cole Adams, come on, man. Cole Adams had a monster game. You ask me.
Just loved what I saw. Maybe it wasn't offensive snaps last week, but on kickoff, there was some things that Lottie was doing. He's had build up, much like a lot of the younger guys. We talked about Kevin. He's done a good job here the last 2 or 3 weeks, really elevating his game and understanding what it takes. Saw it last week, on the football field. Had his way to make an impact on some kickoffs, and just you could see. There's a violence that he has. He got his opportunities. I really like the third down catch in their territory, going up and getting it. I think that's something he does really well. I've seen that quite a bit in practice. He plays bigger than he is.
Yes.
And, got good catch radius, and guys have a lot of confidence going to him. I thought the bubble screen, and just there's details that I liked as well with ball security. I thought he was very intentional on taking care of the football. So, a good step for him with this game and the experience he got today.
In the making. That man is a beast in the making. I've been saying it. Is one of the most exciting recruiting videos on my page. At least I had to do it twice. I had to run it back because them receivers we got is crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. They had very good balance last night. I will say that. But it was ULM. So let me lower my heart rate.
Alex at the middle on the left.
You seem to rotate a lot of guys in on the offensive line. What was the thought process with that, and how do you think it played out?
Yeah, just competition. Just competition, and we did that last year too. And it's just something that I think brings out the best in you. And I thought that was the case throughout the week of practice, and that's I think that led to better execution. I think there were some times still where we certainly got to be better. That drive that we we had to kick the field goal. There were some things, I know we missed the throw down the sideline, but there were some things that they were too hard because we weren't executing at the level that we needed to. Just a little miss here and there, and ball could have been cut loose. Got a guy at your ankles, and they shouldn't be there. And so, again, just trying to bring out the best in all these guys, and just much like the quarterback competition, these other competitions, these guys are all. It's a healthy competition. They all are working and pushing each other.
Very good play from Austin Mack. I don't know if y'all saw it. I don't know if y'all saw it the way I saw it. Kalen Russell can play. He going to be ready. Austin Mack ain't no joke. Austin Mack is not a joke. That man been sitting on the sidelines for I don't know how long between UW and Alabama, watching that game, and the coaches already knew he should be there, but he knew he should be there. That's the most important part. Excellent job by him, just getting in some work. I look at yesterday as Alabama's actually their first scrimmage. That's their first scrimmage. No red. That's why I appreciate the teams. Nick Saban going out and playing at FSU, and going after Clemson early, or putting that focus in the team's head. But things were different, I think, for him in this era. His era I think is different because you got to hit that quarterback at practice. At one day out of the whole whatever, somebody got to. The quarterback has to know that his health is at risk, and you don't want to find that out at the wrong time. Now, Ty wasn't. I didn't see him as nervous versus FSU. I'm just saying everybody else, even my pass rushers, they need to hit the quarterback at practice. I don't know if they want to sacrifice a Kalen Russell at practice or they have two other walk-on quarterbacks, maybe three. Yeah, three walk-on quarterbacks that they can sacrifice, but they need to be able to just rip somebody. Just every blue moon, 2 or 3 times a week during fall camp. I think it helps to hit. This represented the Alabama's real time to just get a real good scrimmage in where you got a little advantage. You just can't go out and just warm up against FSU. I really think this is what they attempted to do in the mentality from the stuff that may have happened in the hotel, people hanging out too late at night, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, door dashing, and just cutting the food, allegedly. And no telling what else. Bray Hubbard, the way he played, that's how he played. He's meeting running backs in the hole. Last year, he meeting them somewhere around the commode because he didn't catch up with him on the field. Last week, he told you, boy, just play the ice cream music. Do I have ice cream sound? It's like boom, doom, 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 doom. He got an ice cream man. He running out there. No. But yeah, last night he was in the hole. We're gonna need him to be where he needs to be. Y'all can party on Monday night. I don't even care. Excellent execution last night, but it looked like a big scrimmage against a scout team where they could hit everybody and everybody could get hit.
Chase back on right.
It seemed like y'all got out of this game pretty healthy, but did anybody get dinged up who might be, questionable to start practice this week?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we did get through healthy for the most
part.
God.
Yes.
And so just hopefully, we'll see some of these guys getting back. Might have an update or two on Monday, but I think it'll probably be more midweek where we see, Ryan and Jam and TK and some of those guys and kind of see where they're at. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we got through for the most part healthy.
Stay on the right side, go to Joe.
That's important.
Coach, just what does this performance tell you about your team and the way that they can respond to adversity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the game is one thing. I think the response, whether it was on the plane ride or in the locker room last Saturday, and just really upset, just not happy, not, just obsessed with understanding that we have to be better and we can be better, and knowing that it only comes through just work. And they made their minds up at some point that led into Sunday, because by Sunday they were ready to roll and get on the football field. And that carried through the whole week of practice. And so the challenge now is, can you sustain it, and can you move forward and continue to take the steps, getting better and better. We have some upperclassmen, we got a lot of younger guys, as we've mentioned, and we have to just keep improving every single play, not just each week, but every single play.
Go to EG, second row on the right.
Coach, you just mentioned it, sustaining this success. What does it look like tangibly to do that, to keep that execution and energy going?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just everyone's just got to do their part, do their job.
He on his stuff today.
I think the guys are understanding that everyone's just counting on them. They're counting on the staff, but the staff is counting on them, and their teammates are counting on them to bring their best. And I wouldn't expect anything less. It's a high character group. It's a group that has shown me all along, they really want it bad, and they're willing to sacrifice and make and have action that represents the goals that they have. Obviously, last week was a disappointment, but they moved forward, and now they got to continue to move forward going into next week as well.
All right, we got one last question, Jonathan, all the way back on the left.
Yeah.
The ladies in this room that are members of the press, that have media credentials, consistently from when I started doing this with Coach Saban to now, consistently ask the best questions, period. If you've heard of a tough response or everybody's like shocked that this was asked of the coach, it's usually one of the ladies. I just want to throw that out there. These ladies are about their business, and they ask tough questions where guy like, hey Kalen, the guy calls this man Kalen, it just irritates me. And he sound like, I can go up there and take his lollipops.
Coach, and just mentioning last week, how important do you think it was to come out in what was one of Alabama's most dominant wins in a really long time, to get that win and sort of flush last week?
Yeah, it's definitely important. That's all we could control.
Cover up, I say cover up.
What we had in front of us. And, sucks to learn lessons or whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. But
it is.
These guys did it, and now, again, they got to do it again. They got to have the discipline to do it over and over and over again. And, the resiliency is probably the thing that I'll take from them, because their response was not timid in any way. It was with power, it was with aggression, and with pride. And they were certainly, that took a hit last week. And, again, all that was something that really came into play as far as, what you saw tonight and how they responded.
Thank you, Coach.
Awesome, thanks.
Well, there you have it. Our man on the scene, KB, they call him Kalen. But it's just outstanding win. Like I said, it was a glorified scrimmage where people had to pay full price tickets to get in. But like I said, the first 70-point game since 1973. Alabama hadn't scored 70 points in the game since their 77-6 win over Virginia Tech on October 27, 1973. Wait a minute. Does that mean Coach Deboer has done something that not even Nick Saban? Anyway, the largest margin of victory in over 7 years, the 73-point shutout was Alabama's biggest win in a blowout game since 89-0 blowout against Delta State on September 21st, 1951. Does that precede Bear Bryant? Bear Bryant. I'm reason I bring this. Bear Bryant beat the hell out of a lot of people like this. 89-0. Was that bad? I don't know if that was Bear Bryant 1981. Was he there 30 years? I think so. Anyway, Alabama racked up 583 yards total offense, 371 passing, 212 rushing. You hope we can if you can maintain a 300 and a 175, that'd be really big. I got to look at the defensive numbers. I'll probably break those down on Tuesday. Please join me for Around the Herd at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. I got to say now, because I'm your boy blow up waiting. Anyway, the PhD, thank you to her for letting me know that some of you guys are in the Central Time Zone. I won't be throwing y'all off. Like I said, 3 quarterbacks threw for multiple touchdowns. They showed it last night. It said it's the first time that it happened with the multiple touchdowns, but I want to do some research to see if there's ever been a situation where the University of Alabama had 3 quarterbacks to go into the game and throw 1 touchdown. I don't remember when that could have been. I got to go look it up. Could have been somewhere around Francione because I think he just played 2 quarterbacks anyway. So we had a blowout. Maybe a 3rd quarterback got in and, threw a touchdown. But it was an outstanding performance because it was done with aggression. It was done with precision execution. They had no fumbles for the offense, and the defense was, had a couple slippages. Defense had a little slippages, but like I said, you cannot complain when your defense went on the field for that many possessions and didn't allow 1 point. It makes you wonder, did we just get outgussed? Did we get out strategized? And if we were to see Gus again, will we have a different result? And it don't matter because I watched Oklahoma. I watched some of these other teams that we have to play. We'll get our chance. They still don't run like Gus. They put this quarterback in last night who was the dual threat kind of guy. He was running the ball unexpectedly, but they got after him. I want to see the teams with athletes like a Georgia or even Wisconsin. I'm not turning the corner on the FSU game until I look at Wisconsin. This is all well and great. A lot of vinegar was released last night out of my bloodstream, but I want to see what they do against a team like Wisconsin or Georgia, and Georgia's way down the road because we had the bye week in between. I want to make sure that this is not just a flukish fluke, because I know ULM is not, I would say 40% of them guys know they're not going to the NFL. Didn't go from day one. When they got there, it was like, Mom, I'm paying for school. I'm so proud of you, son. And that's it, which is a huge accomplishment. But that won't be the case in Wisconsin. I would imagine everybody at Wisconsin in the 80-some% range are trying to make it to the NFL. Some will leave there as magna and summa cum laudes, but they want to go to the NFL too. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't, my man raised no dummy, getting his degree, and I want to take the 7-figure job. And if not, I'll fall back on the 6-figure job. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great showing. Look forward to more of those type of showings. I look forward to not, like I said, that was the kind of game where everything goes right, where your beer stays cold, mixed drinks of mix, and your Sprite is crisp. I want more of that because last week, man, I'm so hot, man. I'm holding the can or the bottle, everything in it is going flat. Food don't even taste right watching that doggone FSU game because they didn't try. There was no aggression. There was no aggression. And the offense didn't make no sense. None. Anyway, I'm in this on a happy note. And just say that I'm really happy for all the young guys that I did see. Even on the offensive line, saw Simmons out there. I saw A.K. Deere. I saw Latsir Brooks. I saw Keelan Russell. I saw the future. I saw a reason for these guys that are in our recruiting class to just wait it out. 4 more games. See what you're working with. So I'm going to get out of here. But always remember, roll, tide, roll.